Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
A Manhattan, please.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, boys.
Evening, Mark.
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 I'm back.
Hey.
I'm here. I'm all better.
Shall I take my mask off?
Yeah, you can take your mask off or take all your sort of white gowns off. I'm all good.
All clear?
I'm all clear. Yes,
Good
I'm
lad.
all good. So,
Feeling back 100%?
am I feeling 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am. Yeah.
Good, mate.
So what are you guys been up to?
Well, I want to know what you've been up to.
Me?
Because you're the one that's been sat at home in your pants in COVID
yeah,
jail.
that's very true. Well, I've been watching loads of the Olympics. Have any of you guys watched it?
I've watched
Yeah,
bits.
loads.
Yeah.
I thought for one second you were going to have watched something that we've been recommending to you for last year.
No.
I've watched all these programmes that you've told me about.
Yeah,
I've watched all
that's
these
not
films that you've told me
No,
about.
no, that's not going to happen. So listen, the Olympics, right? What I want to know. So obviously, you see these athletes. They do astonishing things, don't they? They do all these sports that take time and offer great, and they well-deserved medals. So like, I watched it the other day, and they were like hammer throw. So it's the hammer throw.
The hammer throw, yeah.
But it's a ball on a chain. Is that sort of? I don't know why it's called
ball
hammer
and
throw.
chain, yeah.
So anyway, obviously, this big sort of. Man or a woman? We're a big woman, because they're all very.
I bet you didn't ask them.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but anyway, so he or she's throwing it around, great distance, gets gold in it. She's not competing in any other
Oh,
sports.
so it is a she.
I'm going with a she.
Okay.
So anyway,
It
throws
was
it.
Thor, but because she's got long blonde hair, he's confused
confused
a woman.
I think she got quite short. But anyway, point is, one gold in it, and I thought to myself, that's great, but it's not in comparison to like running like 3,000 metres or 15 or doing swimming, is it? I mean, they just throw in a ball on a chain.
Really, really far.
I know, but I listen. I know I can't do it. I'm not saying that I can do it. I'm not one of them. But you think about it, going. You swung round, spun in a circle loads of times, and then threw this ball on a chain.
In the right direction, which is probably quite difficult when you've been spinning.
Listen,
Outside of it, the cameraman and everybody.
I get it.
Is this the one where they're in a cage?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a netting round, but you think about it, they just that's all they did. They didn't run anywhere. They stood on one spot, spun, threw a ball on a chain, gold medal, and I'm like. Hang on a minute. What about these that's doing decathlons and all this swimming, cycling? And I'm like, it's not on the same level, is it? Is it me or am I missing something?
It's horses for courses, isn't it? There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Well, I know, but it just baffles me. You've got people doing marathons like, for 2.5 hours. I nearly got there. Oh, 4th place, nothing. And you got this woman swinging a ball, gold. What's happening?
But surely the person it's a different skill set, isn't it? The person that could run 100-metre sprint couldn't spin that ball and throw it as far as that person.
I'm not sure. I don't think they could do anything else other than spin that thing. But I bet that runner could spin that. I mean.
What you think? So you think that the 100-metre? So let's say the gold medal of the 100-metre final, you think could get in a netting and swing that ball and get gold in that as well?
No, but I bet they could swing round and throw it a little bit.
I'm sure they could throw it a little bit.
Listen, you know what I'm saying.
What I want to know is where's the line? Where's the line of in your level of acceptance? So, like, for instance, is javelin just throwing a stick? Is discus just throwing a frisbee? Are they all pointless things?
Well, when you're talking about where's the line, did you watch the breaking? Have you seen the Australian?
I've seen the clip.
So I've seen it.
What's this?
Have you not seen it? The Australian woman who does the breaking, the breakdancing
at the Olympics.
Oh, well, I'm going to talk about that. I was like, what's even breakdance? Is that a sport?
Well, I think
what's that doing there?
I think it's more of an art than it's. But what she was, I thought that it was going to turn out that she were an undercover comedian or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just go viral.
A spoof thing going off. Yeah.
She's qualified as best in
Australia.
Well, Australia, but I don't think the Australians have very renowned for their breaking.
She's got a degree in modern dance, I think,
something like that.
She got 0 points.
Well, that looked more like what she was doing was some sort of interpretation of breaking rather than
more
actually
like contemporary
breaking.
Dance, wasn't it? Dancing around like a kangaroo.
There's one thing I can say. Firstly, I haven't seen anything. Now I'll go into that in a bit, but I haven't seen a single thing. The only thing I have seen is that breaking because
it's gone viral.
It went viral. Yeah. So as I'm on Instagram, it just flicked up, and I was like, "What's this?" And I'm thinking, what is that?
How many
And I-
pints has she had?
This is the Olympics.
Yeah.
Well,
and then you realise.
I don't even know why. What's breakdancing doing in the Olympics? Is breakdancing a sport?
I know for a fact if I was
I
doing
don't-
that,
I
even
don't think
on a
it's a
dance
sport.
floor, my daughter would be saying, "Dad, sit down.
Yeah.
You've had one too many."
Yeah. So I can explain a little bit. Right. So,
What you can explain why breakdancing is in the Olympics?
well, yeah, because it's not the first time it's ever been in.
No,
It was in previously at 1980 something.
Yeah, I think it was because they move sports in and out, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
boxing in LA's not in.
Yeah,
They're
it's not
taking
in, yeah.
Right.
Is it not?
No, they've dropped it.
But squash is
neither
back.
is breaking.
Oh, okay.
So what I understand is that it's just been brought back in. It's normally
It's not a
called
sport.
break dancing, yeah, and for some reason the new modern name for it is breaking. And I would class it as a sport because the skill it requires to do breaking, not as the Australians do, but as other countries do.
Maybe not all Australians.
Yes, sir.
Maybe not all
No,
Australians.
not all. But it's an incredible talent and takes some skill and dedication to learn that.
So does ballet and tap.
I was going to say,
yeah.
so does painting.
Absolutely. But I think it's the I guess any of them could be in the Olympics if I'm honest. It's the execution of each move and how they do it, but also it goes on for ages. I mean, I haven't watched it yet. I've only seen that one clip,
Well,
but
exactly.
they've removed it.
It needs a lot of skill, more than spinning around with a ball.
The one thing that really blew my head in this particular Olympics was skateboarding.
Yeah. See,
Unbelievable. They were like 13-year-old, and
Yeah.
they up in air with this skateboard, and how it's like it's stuck to the feet.
Was it a half pipe thing?
It was everything. They
All
got
sorts of
half pipe,
things
they got
went off, yeah.
rails, they got all.
Oh, so it was like a skate park
Exactly.
situation.
It were
Right.
incredible.
well, is this not my point? And you've got, Barbara here from, Hungary, spinning around on spot, throwing a ball. Boom, job done.
He's
And you've
got
got all these people doing all these skills, and you're going, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm going, well, that's not amazing. They're just throwing a ball on a stick
Do
thing.
you realise
What?
how much you've offended Thor at the minute? God of Thunder's sat there going, I'm going to smash
while
his
I'm
face
talking
in.
about Olympics, something else I don't get right. You've got again, I'm not saying this is not skilled. I feel a little bit sorry for him. So I watched the 1,500 metre running around track, and not only that, they've got a water jump and they've got hurdles, and I'm like.
steeplechase.
And I'm like, hang on a minute. You've got these running 100 meters, like literally 9 seconds, and you go, well, what are you running? I'm running 1,500 meters, but I've got like 20 hurdles. And I've got water. It's like it's crazy golf all over again. It's like, is it not hard enough running 1,500 meters? Then let's stick in some hurdles and some water.
I tell you what,
I don't get it. Why are you sticking all this crap in the way?
I tell you what makes me laugh, and me and Ellen were both exactly. We were watching diving, and we were sat there literally. Obviously, commentators are doing all the technical stuff, and we're sat there going, "Oh, he's over rotated."
Yeah.
Like we're some sort of diving experts.
Yeah.
What, is this you and Ellen saying that?
Yeah. Oh, he's over rotated slightly.
Yeah.
Look at the entry.
That was a big splash.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I
We
have
know
noticed
nothing about diving.
with diving, when it shows you flashbacks, how young Tom Daly was when he first
Oh,
started.
unbelievable.
He's a
About
little
14,
boy,
wasn't
isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little boy.
When
Did he do it? Did he do very well at all? Did he? In fact, did he even
Silver.
dive?
Silver.
Silver.
Got silver
Brilliant.
in the synchronised diving.
Right.
Yeah, made a new scarf.
Sorry, what?
He does knitting, doesn't he? when
he
he's
does
not
knitting.
Oh,
Oh, does he?
I was too quick, that wasn't it?
I had no idea that he was into knitting.
And one last thing I'll say about Olympics, because they were doing some of the events in the river. Is it River Seine?
Seine, yeah.
River Seine. So I think they were doing one of the events where they do
Triathlon.
That's
And
it.
they had
Thank
to-
you. I was just going to do the sort of like give us a clue thing by going.
They
the
almost turned it
cycling.
into a duathlon.
So
Get rid of water a bit 'cause it-
on the day they were supposed to be doing it, they did some testing in water, and they went,
Yeah.
"Oh no, it's bacteria. It's not. It's dangerous." But then they did it 8 hours later, and went, "Yeah, I'll be fine for tomorrow." And I'm like, I looked at the river, and I went, "It's same colour." You're not telling me that that's suddenly gone clean. I'm like, what?
They've been in
what?
with fishing nets getting rid of floaters.
There were swimmers
What a
getting
load
out
of
and
rubbish.
vomiting, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were getting out and being sick.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Because of how bad it was.
I mean, a river doesn't go from going, "Oh, it's full of bacteria. Oh, it's all right today." What a load of baloney.
And they didn't just do the testing the day before. They've been saying on the run-up 6 months before that that river will not be okay to swim in.
I know.
And yet they've just allowed it.
I know. It was just. I thought that was fun. I thought, yeah, whatever.
Well,
So I felt sorry for them for swimming in it.
I have not seen a single thing of this because obviously...
Well, you've been through middle of it, by all accounts, haven't you?
This is the funny thing. So I'll just tell you the exact timeline of events. I saw the opening ceremony the night before we drove to France. So I watched the opening ceremony. The next morning, up at crack of dawn, 5 a.m, off to France. And last night on the ferry coming home was the closing ceremony. And believe it or not, absolutely nowhere in France was showing the Olympics. Nowhere.
Really?
Yeah. Nowhere was playing it. So, because I said to Gemma, it's a bit weird that I know we were in south of France, so technically we are in the coast for all the French. That's a lot of them go down south, don't they, for their holidays, for their summer holidays. But so if it was just a normal Olympics held in LA, I can imagine it wouldn't really make much difference where it was. They'd be like, we don't really play it. But because it was in France, I thought there might have been a bit more emphasis to show it in places because it was them hosting it.
Yeah.
It was nowhere. Hence why I've not seen any of it, because the entire time it was on, from beginning to end, I was in France and didn't see any of it.
Wow.
So and that really surprised me. That.
So how was France?
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
So
look as though you got a bit of colour.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely did. I've got a mark where me budgie
smugglers
were.
Yeah, I saw your photos on Insta.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you something to look at. Aren't I?
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Yeah.
He definitely put a sock down there.
There weren't much to look at. But yeah, the whole experience, I would call it an adventure. So because I'd never done it before, and it was something that was very new, everything was exciting. So the initial drive down, we got radios. So there was three cars, obviously, each towing a caravan, and we had radios. So we were constantly talking on radio, keeping in convoy and whatnot. That were fun, and it made the journey go a lot faster. Eurotunnel, that was an experience I'd never done before.
So how does that work? Because I've been in the tunnel with just a car.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine trying to get a carriage, because the openings on the carriages. There's always got to be certain types of carriages, hasn't there?
They are literally, I'd say either side of my caravan was 30 centimetres.
Plenty of room.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, there were room, and the roof. Well, the roof actually was quite tall, so that weren't a problem. But I must admit, I were a bit nervous taking it in.
So it's the same carriage for you towing as it is for just a car on its own. They're not different.
No, it was definitely a special carriage for the cars and caravans, or any unit that was bigger than a standard car.
Right.
So there was that, and then obviously then you get over to France, and we arrived on the Sunday. The roads were so quiet, and it was like, oh, this is lovely.
Did you drive all the way to Folkestone in one go then?
Folkestone, yeah.
Just you from home straight down,
straight to Folkestone, yeah.
And then
stayed overnight.
Oh, you stayed overnight there? On a site or in a hotel?
On a site,
right?
Yeah, where I dinked the caravan.
Did you? What, like that?
You can't beat a good caravan ding, Rob.
Mate, it's first time.
Did you cry?
It's not too bad.
When Gemma punched him in face.
It were a bit silly, really. The site itself was really steep incline, and we were all backed up behind each other. So when you got up, wheels were spinning up to try and get uphill.
Yeah.
And as you come round, it was really tight. And what they'd done is they'd had a marquee set up in the field, and they were taking it down, and they'd put all the structural steels in front of the gate, enough for probably most cars to get through, but not a car and a caravan. And I didn't realise. I just thought they were like a barbecue and all this sort of stuff. So I pulled through the gate. I was like, I'm going to have to turn here, or I'm going to crush all that metal. So I turned a little bit earlier than I would normally, and back end caravan caught the post.
Oh.
It's only made a tiny little mark, and it's not that bad. It will probably need buffering out, but it's all right. Anyway, we get over to France, and we're driving through France on his walkie-talkies, and that was all great. Went to the services, obviously, they're brilliant compared to ours. However, some of these services, they don't have urinals. They only have sit-down toilets in men's. And so men are queuing. And it's like,
that's weird.
Why would you not have urinals in a men's toilet? And then when they do have them, they only have about 4. And I was like, this is a bit bizarre, because everything else about the services were really well set up.
Yeah.
Other than the fact
the size, the same size.
Yeah, some of them are a lot bigger than ours.
Right.
And there's 20,000 more than there is here. At least every 20 kilometres, there's a services. But one thing that really frustrated me, so you get your car spaces, and you get your car and caravan spaces.
Yeah.
You couldn't get any of them because normal people were just parking their cars in them.
I hate that.
Oh, mate.
There's no excuse for
they're
it.
in, and it's and
There's loads of room for a car in another space, isn't there?
And there's 1,000 spaces,
It's
and they're
people-
all empty, and they're just
It's
parking
people
them.
that can't. They're middle lane drivers.
Yeah,
they
probably.
park because like, oh, I can't
Mark,
park very
you set
well.
Mark off now.
Oh, don't get me started.
Well, after
2 hours later.
after third services, we stopped parking and we just parked in lorry. We went straight to lorry bays and just
Right.
parked
And
in
then
them.
lorry drivers are like that. I can't believe they put their bloody cars and caravans in my spaces.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah. We just moved
Bit in a French accent.
Yeah.
Oh, and another weird thing about service, well, not just French toilets, they don't have toilet seats. It's just the basin. I mean, there was one place we went to where they had them and it were almost a
That's
novelty.
because they've not got urinals. That's why they've not got seats.
There you
Because
go.
they know
There
that
you
was
go.
what- it's not getting lifted.
There you go.
Yeah.
You just solved that question.
Solved
that
it.
problem. So so straight down, and then once we got there, the whole experience was brilliant. There is one thing, it's definitely not for everyone, because you kind of have to accept that some people like to go on holiday, and I imagine this is you, Kirk. When you're on holiday, you're on holiday,
Yep.
and you want to relax.
Yep.
And obviously, when you've got a caravan where you've got to empty your toilet, you've got to get fresh water every day, you've got to empty your grey waste water, you've got to, you tend to find it's very much more just like self-catering. You're cooking,
Well, it's very interesting. You should go on to that because Michael Kingsley on Facebook were asking about pros and cons of caravanning.
Who's
And-
Michael Kingsley? Do we know him all?
Yeah, he's a friend
Yeah,
of,
I know him.
of a friend.
Right, okay.
But he's joined the Chatting Tap Room Facebook group.
Oh.
Yeah.
So thank
and
you,
he,
Michael.
and he put it on there. So go on, Rob. I don't want to knock you off your kilter.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everyone. But I love it. That's what you'll be saying, Mark. I'm sure. I imagine you would really enjoy it. That's just something you do. You get up in the morning, nice and early, because if you don't, it's absolutely baking. We got temperatures as high as 38 degrees.
Wow.
And even at 9 o'clock at night, it was still 34.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, to say this, it's south of France, you'd have thought you were in Mexico.
How did your aircon cope?
Oh, incredible.
Really?
Honestly, incredible. I actually don't know how the other two family members, or the other two families that didn't have aircon, I don't know how they coped. I went in their caravan and Johnny was stood with his top, just literally wearing his pants, sweating, and I'm like,
Stood still.
and he'd be putting his t-shirt on, and he'd be like, because he was wet through and he couldn't get his t-shirt on, and he just had a shower.
Why is he putting a t-shirt on?
Only because we were going to a local town for a meal, you know. But yeah, so the heat-wise, the AC was a lifesaver. It really was brilliant.
Were they not coming to your caravan to sort of?
Do you know
can
what?
we just nip in?
Yeah.
Were they not?
I don't think they wanted to. I
'cause
think
I would
it was
be.
one. I know you
Yeah,
would.
believe you me, I wouldn't even be asking. I'd be straight in there. You'd be like, "What's Mark's doing in bed?" Well, that's what would be happening.
Move up, Jem.
Well, the best thing is
Hang on, I'm not sure about moving up. Should we getting out? I'm getting in. By the way, just to clarify, that's not because I don't like Gemma. That's just because I want the bed to myself. That's
Absolutely,
why.
I know what you meant. But no, I don't think they wanted to come in because once they've been in,
They don't wanna leave.
They know what
Yeah.
they're missing out on.
Yeah.
But
Well, I wouldn't be. I'd be going. That's it. I'm staying.
And as expensive as it was, to just do one trip, you definitely want to do more trips than just one to get your money's worth. But it was money well spent.
When you say to get your money's worth one trip, what do you mean?
So the air conditioning unit was £2,200.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
So
you're
it's a
talking
lot of
about
money.
The extra kit that you've actually physically bought.
Yeah,
Right.
as
okay.
much as it was amazing having it, there's a lot of people out there that would go, yeah, but I won't pay nearly £2.5 grand just for one trip to have a nice, cool environment.
Yeah.
But we won't. We'll be doing.
Once
it
you've got it,
plenty
you've
of
got
times.
it, though, haven't you? That's the thing.
I mean,
once you've got some.
yeah.
It's warm outside today, and I can guarantee you I won't be sleeping in the bedroom tonight. I'll be in caravan. The aircon's already
that
on
one
ready.
night
You won't be. Mark will be in there.
Yeah,
I'm in there tonight.
He's already lined it up, hasn't he?
Is it the first time you've driven abroad?
Yeah, I've driven in France.
Right.
I've never towed abroad, and I've never driven in France before. And you were fine.
You just said
Sorry.
you've driven in France
Sorry.
before.
Sorry. I've driven in Spain before.
Okay.
I've never driven in France before
make
or
your mind
towed
up.
before.
But it's the same side of road, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
What I was sort of getting to was, how did you find it? Because obviously you have a blind spot, don't you? That's in a different place when
Yeah.
you're driving up wrong side of road.
Yeah.
And then you've got an extra vehicle behind you.
Well, what's weird is the road systems in France. The person on the motorway has the right of way.
Yeah.
So as you're getting on, if you have to stop, you just have to come to a complete stop and then wait.
Yeah.
And hope that there's a gap or they'll all move over because they've got the right of way.
Yeah.
And that's
does it work? Is it good?
Not always. No.
It don't sound great.
I'm a bit bolshy when I drive, so I were a little bit like right away, no right away, I'm coming on. And I just like we do in England.
You're getting those caravanners a bad name.
You come round corner and you just floor it and get as fast as you can on that runway.
36.
Runway?
37.
Yeah.
38.
Well, that's the other thing. The speed you drive over there is only 55 mile an hour.
Yeah.
In a caravan, it's 90 kilometres, but yeah, even getting used to that were a bit weird. But the one thing the French do that is just absolutely brilliant.
Baguettes.
Right? Yep. And pan of chocolates and croissants. Oh, and wine. Have a guess how much it is for wine over there?
It's cheap.
A litre.
I know.
€2.50.
Why are you only buying a litre?
That's Mark's breakfast.
Absolutely.
Can I have an 11-gallon of Merlot, please? Merlot, like I drink red wine.
In some places in France, like the vineyards and stuff,
Yeah.
if you walk past them and like the gates at the end, there's just like buckets of them that you can just pick up and take.
Really?
And just leave like a what's it called? Like an honesty box.
Yeah.
That you can just
Wow.
leave money in and stuff.
Well, we have discussed. I think if we went back, just me and Gemma,
Fully loaded caravan on way back.
Yeah.
filling water things up with wine, coming back with aqua rolls full of wine.
Yeah.
No, one of the things they do really well, which every country or certainly holiday destinations need to take note of, lunchtime, just after lunchtime, the what do you call them? The guys and girls that look after the pool area, lifeguards / attendants around the pool, they go to the pool and make everyone get out and go and sit on the sunbed. And any sunbed that's not got anyone on it, they take all the stuff away.
Do they?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Literally midday, almost same
And then
time
charge
every
them to
day.
get it back.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what I'd do. I'd get it and I'd chuck it in pool. Come on, you can come back in now.
What if you've just like nipped at the toilet?
Don't matter.
But
I'm
only having a quick poo.
They don't throw it away.
Something's gone.
They don't throw it away, but I think you kind of learn after day one that one of you, if you were going to the toilet, one of you had to go and one of you had to stay.
Don't go for a poo at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. One of you go and literally they'd be like everyone at the pool and they'd wait. There were two pools. Everyone had to get out and they'd wait for everyone and they'd start at one end and they'd just walk over and they'd be like, "Do you know what this is? No, gone. Do you know what this is? No, gone." And they just took them all off and it'd be like they'd clear 20 odd sunbeds.
Brilliant. And the thing is, if you do it every day or whatever,
yeah,
people get to a point where they know not to save sunbeds because they know what's going to happen.
Well, they just save them at 12:05.
Yeah.
And they're gone for the rest of the day.
When you say it's not for everybody, then when you say so, obviously I can imagine it being Kirk's or Mark's worst nightmare towing a caravan, let alone in France. Somebody else who tows them, would you say you'd have to consider this, that, or the other, or do you think not for everybody in terms of people who might tow or not? Clear as mud.
Are you talking about specifically towing, not caravanning in general? Are you talking about specifically towing?
Yeah, like he took his obviously caravan to France, but you said it's not for everybody.
Yeah, as in the whole camping.
Anybody who tows a caravan, it's not for everybody that already does that, or people that wouldn't normally tow anyway.
No, I would say anybody that caravans and enjoys caravanning for what caravanning's about and everything that you have to do with it, by sorting your own water and all your amenities.
So you're not talking about the driving, you're talking about the experience.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So you would love it. But if I said to Kurt, do you know what? You should hire a caravan and you should come down with us. He just wouldn't enjoy it.
Go and have a poo in a cupboard.
Yeah.
And then get up the next morning and then go on the outside of the cupboard and get anything that's passed through you and empty it into a hole in the floor.
With everybody else.
Yes, please.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Daisy would be right busy, wouldn't she?
She definitely would, because you wouldn't be doing it, would you?
Do you know what? When we go camping, we have a
compost?
A toilet, what are they called? Thetford.
Yeah.
A cassette toilet.
Yeah, cassette toilet. And I must admit, that's my job.
Yeah.
At camping.
It's
we go camping.
normally every man's job.
That is my job. My job is to empty the toilet. Daisy does everything else.
Yeah.
Everything else. My job is to empty the toilet. And I actually don't find it as bad as what I thought I would. It's almost like the thought of it is a bit more grim than the reality of it.
Yeah.
Well, we have a rule where you only do number ones in the toilet in the caravan.
That's easy if you ain't got 3 kids.
Well, that is true. That is true.
See,
And
we had a few years where we were the same, and then we got to a point, we went to a site, and I think either toilets were too far away, or the facilities weren't that good.
Yeah,
and we were
big
like, do you
grim.
know what? Sod it. In fact, it were a festival. It would have been Kendal. Do you know what? I'm going to... And then after that, never look back. Just think, why don't you?
Do you know what,
You put enough of the right fluid in.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to go into details.
well, hold on. I'll say I think once I've broken the number 2 virginity, I'll probably do it forevermore.
Absolutely.
Same with shower. Do you shower in your caravan?
Yeah, sometimes.
I more often than not shower in the caravan.
Yeah.
So many people don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, on with what you're saying. Sorry.
But it's an absolute, and obviously dad jokes and all that. You have to when you go in and empty in your toilet, and there's another bloke there or a woman even sometimes emptying it, and you have to go, oh, this is a shit job. And you do. Yeah, I've probably said it 1,000 times. Oh,
Yeah. Or you just get a bit of splash and you go, oh crap.
yeah.
There's always one or two in there. Absolutely. But no, to round it up, guys, honestly, we had the best time, all of us. Everything from going, there were a beach on site, we went to beach, pool, we went on one of them blow up inflatable things that you can go on each sea.
Aquapark.
Yeah. We went to, we did all sorts, and it was just, they were full on amusement park just round the corner from where we were. Yeah, honestly, it was brilliant. I did great, and we will definitely do it again. One of our family members, they'll not do it again.
Really?
Yeah, it was, even though they've got a caravan, and the caravan, it wasn't for them.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they did.
In what way? Too stressful for them, or too much to do? Or what?
As much as they like caravanning, I think they like the weekends away, but that over a prolonged period of time and all the driving there and back,
the stressing.
I think they just saw it as well. I could have had for that 16 days. I could have been sat around the pool and just chilling.
And I think that'd be my approach.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I think that the idea of it. For me, I kind of think, I've nothing against caravanning or anything, but I do see that whole caravanning thing as a long weekend. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe a week in Cornwall, or do you know what I mean? Or something like that. Yeah. The thought of having a 16-day holiday with 4 or 5 of them days being travel.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Of not easy travel either, is it? I mean, you guys
Long
might
days.
think differently because you tow a lot, but I certainly wouldn't. Well, it'd be daisy driving, but
10 to 12 hours a day of travel, not necessarily all driving. But
and then to get to the end result, and I'm sure you had a great time, but like you said, you're still cooking your own food, if you like, doing your, cleaning the caravan, emptying toilet, getting water waste, blah blah blah. I know probably I've just said maybe an hour of a day, and I get that, but when you think about, I'm sure by the time, and obviously I'm not asking you to go into detail, but by the time you've gone into the price of the travel, the price of the euro or the shuttle or whatever, the price of the campsite, the price of the money that you spend while you're there, maybe going out restaurants or whatever it is, I'm going to guess that there won't be that much difference between that and going and staying in a 4-star all-inclusive, get on a plane, land and sit on your ass for 2 weeks.
That was going to be my question to you, Rob.
Was it?
We're asking you the actual price. In comparison...
How much was it?
Well, Mark will ask you there.
Well, I can't... honestly, I am going to work it out, and I'd love to tell you now what it was, because I would tell you. But from rough calculations, we spent £1,500 spending while we were there. Right.
Oh, okay.
And we've estimated that the fuel, tolls, Eurotunnel and ferry cost nearly 2,000. So we're at 3,500.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's a lot more than I thought. I mean, listen, I didn't think it was going to be cheap.
It's also a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
But I thought...
I also missed out there was 3 campsites in that as well, because obviously you stop overnight at certain places. But there's also cheaper ways to do it as well. Like we could have just stayed.
Leave the caravan at home.
Yeah, absolutely. We could have just stayed in airs. They're their services, because there's areas where you can just literally pull up and just sleep overnight. We could have done that. That saved a bit of money. But other than that, and you could drive down not on any toll roads. Now the toll, I only know the toll charges going down. They were 150 quid, but coming back up, we haven't had them prices yet, so I wouldn't know what they are. So, but
I suppose though we have to bear in mind though, because I know you kind of look at that, it sounds like a lot of money, but we've also got to bear in mind it was in August.
Yes.
So even if you are comparing it to an all-inclusive resort somewhere or whatever, that also wouldn't be cheap because it's in August. So
and I do like to think that the cost of some of them things were all inflated because of the time of year it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as we've said before, it for the experience, that amount of money was worth it. Absolutely worth it.
For me, I don't think it's a case of what I'm like. If something, no matter how much something costs, it's about the experience of it. And it's not about a judgment call of how much. I mean, for me personally, if I was going to spend that kind of money,
you want a waiter.
So basically,
I want a waiter bringing me a cocktail.
Yeah. Because basically, so even if it were off price, you'd go. It's still not for me. I still don't want to do it.
No, do you know what? I just don't know whether I could. I've always said to myself, mainly since Mark got his caravan.
Me?
No, other one. I like the idea of a caravan.
Yeah.
As in compared to a tent. Do you get what I mean? Like, for instance, when we go camping and I look at Mark's setup or Seb's setup or whatever, and I look at the caravan and I look at the fact that, if it's raining, they just go into the caravan or in their awning or whatever, or like at night they go in and shut the door and they've got a TV if they want one, or this, that, other, and I'm sat on a deflating airbed. Do you know what I mean? So that's that side of caravanning, if you like, appeals to me. It does. But I also know what I'm like, and there's a lot of people that said the money I've paid for my tent, I could have bought a caravan.
Yeah.
Right? Because it ain't a cheap tent that I've bought. But I just don't know whether I get my money's worth out of it. I just genuinely don't know whether I get my money's worth out of it. Yeah. You guys are away a lot in the year, and I totally understand where you get your money's worth. Me, I still think that even if we found another 2 or 3 weekends a year where we went away, that'd only be 5 weekends a year.
Yeah. Well, we won't do that again next year, or we'll have it, but we will definitely do it. I've got to get my money's worth out of this aircon unit. So I've said that we're going to stay next time.
I've got to get the money's worth out of this aircon unit. I'm going to spend another $3,500 to go and use it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to Spain next time. That could even be more expensive.
Absolutely.
So yeah. But also, whilst I've been away, you've also been busy, haven't you?
Yeah.
But you both of you, Kirk and Mark.
We've been to Kendal again.
How was it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Blurry.
I can imagine it was.
So should we
ask
Kirk?
For me. It wasn't
I'm going to say,
blurry
should we
for
ask
me.
Kirk, because Mark's not going to know any of what happened, do you?
So when you say it wasn't blurry for you, were you drinking or was you pretty much?
Well, it depends. It depends on what level you're asking. So if you said to me,
budgie level,
was you drinking? Yes.
With chapped lips.
Yes, I was drinking.
Yeah.
So I would have my first beer around about maybe 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, which was a bottle of beer. I like bottles, you know, drinking bottles of Coors. I might have 4 or 5 bottles of Coors, walk into the arena, and then I might have a couple, 2 or 3 cocktails while I'm in the arena.
Yeah.
Okay, which still cost me £100. Yeah. So
really?
So maybe not quite. What cocktails are about? What? £12 each.
12 or 13.
12 or 13 pound each.
Wow.
And I'd have a couple of cocktails or whatever, and then that's me done. I get a little bit of buzz on, from alcohol if you like, and I'm done. I'm happy. Happy. You know, if you were to ask Mark whether I drank,
I am. Oh well, yeah.
he would say that no, I was teetotal all weekend.
Well, let me ask Mark this
I made
question.
Kirk a cocktail for his breakfast.
He did.
What did your drinking routine look like?
One after another.
What time did you start?
He didn't start, but he just started.
Early enough. We're at a festival.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
so you'd have a few before you get in there, and then when you get in there, you just...
I'd have a few before I put my socks on.
He has a few before breakfast.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Well,
days.
how many cans did you take?
Well, actually, this time I was a bit more concerned. Well, I say I was a bit more concerned. I was initially, then I went and got some more. 50 cans, maybe.
50. That's how many you took?
Yeah.
That's not many.
Yeah, but
for you.
Well, then he just said, then did you have to go and get some more?
No, that was in
Yeah.
That's for the first day.
Yeah, no, hold on a minute, because don't forget, there's then wine, vodka.
Yeah,
and
bear in
everything else on
mind,
top.
at Kendal, Mark,
okay.
you can't take drinks into the arena.
Okay.
So that's what
just
he's
for
drinking
that's just
before
for
he's even
camping.
gone in.
Oh, okay. How long were you there for?
4 days.
Oh, okay.
So, Mark, roughly, when you're in there, I don't know how much you drank. How much do you think you were spending on drink?
I can tell you exactly how much we spent on drinks that weekend.
How much?
A bit more than, well, it's not stupid money, I suppose, but 400 quid.
I did 500 quid.
Wow. Hang on. 500 quid on
And you
drinks.
drank less than Mark?
Because
Because Kurt were drinking cocktails and Mark were drinking beer.
And he'll been kind of food trucks as well.
Food. That's what I spend my money on.
Listen, I'm Glastonbury was saying, Matt. Food is fantastic. Do you not drink? Do you not eat much when is eating cheating?
No, so we eat at the van, and then we'll go in, and then we might have something like I had a gyros one day, and maybe it's snacky stuff for me when I'm.
Yeah.
You know, but
when you're on it.
When you're on it, you know. Yeah.
But yes, it was fantastic, Kendal.
Yeah.
It really was. Thursdays are getting busier, aren't they?
Well, you say that.
It felt
They
that
put
way.
the stats out the other day, and they said that I think the Thursday this year, I can't remember if it was 500 or 700 less than it was last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't feel that way.
I don't get that. When you've got a festival, I want to get the most out of that.
It's an
festival
additional ticket, though.
Yes, I realised this when I looked into it.
Yeah.
But still, if I can get a bit more out of it, I'd want to do that.
If you can get time off work, and that's sometimes people's issues, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you, by the way, do you have to leave on the Sunday or can you leave on the Monday?
No, we leave on the Monday.
Right.
Although it's been quite funny because the last couple of years, Kirk and Daisy haven't been able to stay the whole weekend because Daisy struggled to get one of the days off. So they've come back on the Sunday. This year, she managed to get it all booked off. And then Kirk started a new job on the Monday, so we had to go on a Sunday anyway.
And did you all go?
No,
just you.
Yeah. So the irony.
So who was your favourite acts of the weekend?
So Paul Heaton, I think, was number one for me.
Yeah.
Red Rum Club, brilliant band, by the way. And the Allergies, they lived up to what I was hoping that they were going to be.
So can I ask, because all three of them names I'm not familiar with, are they quite...
Paul Heaton?
You know Paul Heaton.
I do.
Surely,
Why do I know him?
Beautiful South.
House Martins?
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, absolutely. The other two, would I know they are? Are they a bit...
You may have heard of one or two of Red Rum Club. The Allergies, probably not.
Sorry, Mark. You'd really like Red Rum Club.
Yeah?
Yeah, you would.
What sort of music is it? What?
It's a fusion of sound, so it's I don't know if it's alternative indie, but it's sort of indie pop fused.
Yeah, I would like that.
A little.
If you could compare them to someone that's a bit more mainstream, who would you compare them to?
That's a really good question. And I don't think I could, you know.
Could you, Matt Kirk?
Do you know what? They reminded me a little bit of Scarlet Opera.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
But not as full on.
Yeah.
So scale it down, maybe to. I'm not saying less is good. I'm saying scale it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite as Scissor Sisters. Do you know what I mean? Scale it down a bit. But they reminded me of the Scarlet Opera.
Okay. Then I would absolutely.
So,
love them.
you would.
Something I didn't mention was Keane. What a voice!
What a voice! Now,
what a voice! Tom Chaplin's got a right voice.
I do know who he is, so I've not heard him for a long time.
Wow.
But he is brilliant, isn't he?
Wow.
Well, I wasn't overly bothered about Keane at all. Like a couple of the tracks that I know of Keane, it's not my scene. That sort of thing. And I said to Mark, I'm not really bothered. And Mark was like, no, seriously, you need to watch it. I think you'll be really, really like impressed. And when he opened his voice, I don't claim to know a lot about music or anything, but I never knew he could sing like that. And I mean, like Freddie Mercury levels of vocal ability.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Do you like the Keane?
Yeah, it's not my sort of band, but I know of him.
Yeah.
But
I'm
not really into indie music.
I would like
That's
to
the
see
thing.
him live, definitely. Definitely.
We spent quite a bit of time in Chai Waller's again, didn't we?
What is
Is this
that?
a bar?
So it's actually, and I only learned this year. It's one of the tents there, and I thought it was part of Kendal Calling, so to speak, but it's actually independent, and it's a Bristol-based record label,
right.
and they do their own things as well, and they have a tent at Kendal Calling.
Oh, is it a bit like maybe BBC introducing sort of tents at Glastonbury or something like that?
Sort of, but not so much aimed at mainstream music. It's more, you tend to find a lot more sort of world music, so you might get your Afro beats, funky sort of stuff, reggae, dub.
All right, yeah.
Some really, really, fantastic musicians that you'll never probably hear on commercial radio. They'll do very well in their own right, but amazing.
My second favourite act was in Chai Waller's. So Paul Eaton was my number one. I thought he was. I like Paul Eaton anyway. I liked the Beautiful South. I saw Beautiful South live when they toured many years ago.
He was at Glastonbury this year, weren't he?
That's right.
Yes, he was.
That's where I heard it. Yeah.
When Paul Eaton was on, because he normally sings with the girl from the group. Was she there?
Jackie Abbott.
That's it.
No,
was she there?
No.
She's ill, I think, or she was when she
She had
cancelled.
COVID. And no to know him, mate.
No,
I've not
it
been near
goes
her.
back about 12 or 18 months where they literally cancelled all the dates and she was taking no details of being
Because he sang with a female at Glastonbury, didn't he? But
yeah, it's the same person, Rhiannon Downey.
Oh, so it was her. Oh,
Yeah.
the same person that was at. All right, okay.
Rhiannon Downey, and what a voice she's got as well.
she sounded
Absolutely.
brilliant
Really
on
good.
Glastonbury. So.
Absolutely. But my second favourite, although when you mentioned them just then, I really did enjoy Red Rum Club. I really did enjoy them. And actually, I probably knew a couple of songs that I didn't know I knew.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was a duo that we saw in
Absolutely,
Chaiwallas.
duo, yeah.
And I was stood outside Chaiwallas.
Chaz and Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Chaz is dead, I think. Or is it Dave? One of them's dead. Anyway, go on.
So I tend to spend a bit of time like just stood outside Chaiwallas because it tends to be, Mark might disagree here, but it tends to be music that you can just listen to. As in, like, you know, like you don't necessarily have to be, you know, in the midst of it. So I like to stand outside, have a cocktail. They sell cocktails from there at Chaiwallas and stuff, and coffee. And then I heard this band playing and everything, and Mark was in there on his own. And I thought, I quite like the sound of them. It sounds a bit different, but
He's building it up. He's building it up.
Honestly, Mark, I walked in, I went and stood next to Mark, and unlucky for me, I wish I'd gone in earlier because I got in probably 2 tracks to the end. Unbelievable. Yeah. So it were 2 brothers.
Yeah.
2 brothers.
Right, said Fred.
Yeah.
They're brothers. Although there's 3 in band, though, isn't there?
There's 2 brothers.
Righteous.
A drummer, and a lead guitarist /
Ross.
vocalist. No,
they're brothers.
Yeah.
No, they're brothers.
Yeah, I know, but it weren't them.
Okay.
It weren't them. They looked cool as anything. Right. They looked cool. They looked like they're from Australia, didn't they?
We actually
they're
thought
not.
they look like surfers.
I was just about to ask, what does cool look like?
So you know, like if you were to envisage what you would expect a typical sort of Australian surf dude to look like, with the long vest,
okay,
the cargo shorts on,
yeah,
probably nothing on the feet,
flip flops,
bit of goatee, backwards baseball cap,
all right,
you know, they just look like
chill,
yeah,
chill,
absolutely,
yeah.
And one brother played the drums, and one was like vocalist, guitarist, sort of thing.
Proclaimers.
And
they're brothers. They are brothers.
Oh, these podcasts are going to end up being 2
You're going to
hours
say
long.
who they are. You do realise you're going to say who they are, and I'm going to go, never heard of them.
I guarantee that you're going to say you've never heard of them.
Oh, right, okay.
But the lead guy also, and this is where I might lose you a little bit, but you've got to trust me,
all right,
played the didgeridoo.
Really?
I nearly said, but I'm not going to say that name.
No.
Has he got a brother?
No.
And he hasn't.
That's why he's safe.
And he hasn't got himself either, has he?
No. So he had 2 didgeridoos. So he had quite a big didgeridoo.
He even has to put it on a tripod.
This is turned.
And then he also had a small one, but he was almost like using it as like the bass line.
Almost.
He had a small one, so he had 2 didgeridoos.
2 didgeridoos.
And they were obviously both pitched differently.
Gifted.
Played at the same time.
Well, it sometimes swap between
Wow,
them. So
okay.
he'd be playing one, which was a bit more high pitched, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
And then he'd go to the other one, it'd be lower. Honestly, I was.
The image of you swapping between 2 ones looks very different.
It was incredible, wasn't it?
Honestly,
the noise, woo, 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 really bassy. Woo, woo,
Good impression, that, Mark.
Woo, woo, woo. I can do it on kazoo.
Please don't.
Yeah, don't
That's
bother.
coming later.
But the drummer, you'd have had a real crush on the drummer.
Yeah.
He had a right physique, didn't he?
He did.
I even had a bit of a crush on him, I think.
Yeah. And do you know what? Do you know what I really love about some of these smaller bands? I suppose it's fair to say they were loving it.
Yeah.
Just the pure joy on the face.
Yeah.
Just the pure joy on the face.
I feel like I need to go away and listen to him now.
I'm waiting to. What's the name of them?
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, that's a good show.
That's a good shout. Yeah, they're called Echo Town.
Never heard of them.
Echo Town. Yeah.
It doesn't. That name rings a bell a little bit. But
It's such a fusion of sounds. It's like there's bits of bluegrass in it, They've got bits of sort of country, rock, really lively.
I mean, he played, what was that instrument called that he played?
The slide guitar.
He played the slide guitar.
Yeah.
I've seen them before. Yeah.
Anyway, brilliant. Any of our listeners, go and give them a listen. They were saying, weren't they, there that they had their social media accounts hacked, and they'd lost all the followers and and they were having to try and build it back up again
now. So.
But I've just realised who it was when you said Echo Town. I thought I knew. I didn't. That was Crazy Town Kids TV programme that I was thinking of. Idiot.
That's completely nothing like him.
I know.
So yeah, that's that one of the highlights of my weekend.
And let's not forget, we also met Emma Lester from the Kendal's Calling You Facebook group. She so there's almost like an unofficial but sort of supported by Kendal Calling Facebook group. Okay. 15,000 members, whatever, and people ask questions, help each other out, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
One of the big things, I think it's Emma and Luke actually, but Luke didn't really get involved in this interview that we're about to play. That they sell wristbands, charity wristbands, each year. So you buy them on the Facebook group. She'll send you the PayPal, whatever, and then send you wristbands through post. And it's just incredible what they've done for charity and how much money they've raised, which I'll show you in this interview.
So you actually interviewed this girl?
Yeah.
Oh, and you got it so we can actually hear it.
It were quite strange because I didn't realise. Obviously, you just assume, I suppose, somebody who's created a Facebook group might be from that area.
So can you play it?
I will, but I just got to let you know. When we recorded this, I had a little bit to drink.
So Emma, you've been coming to Kendal a few years as well. When did you start coming to Kendal Calling?
2017.
So that's the same year we started coming then.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean the main stage was in a different place, wasn't it?
It was over there.
Yeah?
Yes,
and,
it was.
And what's your thoughts?
It was our first festival with the kids.
Sorry. And what's your thoughts with the changes and things?
Yeah, well, the hill's a bit of a mission. I sigh a lot at the bottom. I stand and wait a lot at the top.
I'm completely with you. The amount of times I see the gates that lets you into the accessible gates, and I think, what do I need to get through them gates?
Can you just let me in?
That hill is a killer.
We're over 40.
As a mum, I'm quite happy that I don't have to walk through Wild Woods anymore and think, oh my God, look at the carnage.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, then, where do you normally stop then?
So we camped that first year. It rained the whole weekend. It was a nightmare. So now we've got a camper.
That was muddy, wasn't it, that first year?
It was horrific.
I remember.
Yeah.
You remember the village green?
Yeah, it was awful. My daughter wanted some watermelon when we were watching Stereophonics, maybe.
Yeah.
So I had to wade all the way back down there and then make sure I didn't spill it all the way back because she wanted some. That's all she wanted. Yeah, it was a nightmare.
So you drive far up to get to Kendal?
North Wales, so it's about 140 miles, I think. So no, it's not too bad.
Nice steady drive. And you've gone for a camper van now. You've gone poshing.
Yeah, well, it's not posh, but you know, it's got a real bed in it.
Yes, absolutely. So, what is it then that you love the most about Kendal?
I think it's easy, but we've always gone to Glastonbury and we stopped. And I think Kendal is not just a festival in a field. It's got all those nice little quirky options that you can wander and see, and they change it up every year. So it's really, it's a bit quirky. It's not just a field with some fairground rides and a
so
stage.
do you not do Glastonbury anymore then?
No.
Just this almost instead?
We do this instead. So it's just too much of a mission, and you can't get tickets.
It's a lottery, isn't it?
I hate going through that stress every year. It makes me feel like really anxious. So now that I don't have to go through it. Although now I have the stress of whether I can get a live-in ticket for Kendal Calling.
That's the new stress, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nightmare. So
So what is it you're looking forward to most then this weekend, or what was it that you have been? Because obviously it's Friday now. We had Thursday yesterday.
We did have Thursday yesterday. I don't think there's really been anything specific this weekend. We like quite a lot of smaller bands. We like finding new bands, so we wander quite a lot. We don't spend loads of time at the main stage, so I don't think I've got any big standout. Looking forward to seeing Paolo on Sunday. I've not seen him for a long time. Nice for him to be back.
Is he good?
Yeah. Yeah, saw him at Glastonbury a couple of times.
Up to now then, over the years that you've been coming, what's been a standout where you go, do you know what, that was absolutely brilliant?
I think for me, my kids have like discovered themselves a bit here.
Right.
My son is autistic, not madly, but he loves music. And
can I ask how old they are?
So Jacob's nearly 22 and my daughter is 19 today. So she came with us last year. Maisie's got Tourette's, so she's very socially, she doesn't cope very well.
Yeah.
But last year we brought her and she just went off into the crowd and danced, and she's
brilliant.
Yeah, from a kid that wouldn't go to the corner shop to going off in the crowd and dancing. So yeah, I think for me it's just been introducing them to this little world and then just seeing them grow out of it.
And it's so accepting, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, and they can just be themselves. So I don't think we love coming and we love everything, and seeing lots of bands and being quickly, but I think for me that's it's just been quite important. Yeah.
So you started in 2017, which is the same year we came. Obviously we've seen some strange things while we've been coming. What's the strangest or funniest thing you've seen?
I don't know about strange, but I think we'll always remember Frank Turner, main stage, tons of mud, and the crowd surfing race. So he picked two people to crowd surf, because Frank quite likes to crowd surf.
Yeah.
He actually broke his arm doing that once when we went to see him. So he picked two people on the stage, threw them into the crowd. They had to race all the way to the back, and then the whole crowd had to part so they could run through the middle.
Wow.
First back to the stage was the winner.
Yeah.
The mud was horrific, and it was just carnage, but it was brilliant.
And the thing is, you can't explain that to somebody that's not been in an environment that can see that how that would possibly look is just incredible, isn't it?
And I think the fact that he can get everyone to sit down in his song like he does in that amount of mud was just
So moving on to something a little bit more serious then. Obviously you are a massive influence and you organise the charity wristband sales on Kendal's Calling You.
I do.
You raise a lot of money for charity. What's the charity that you're raising money for this year?
So we always have three. And we let the group decide. So there's 5 admins now, because of the size of the group, I think we're going to hit 15,000 by the end of the weekend. But,
wow.
So we always pick one each, and we let the group decide. So this year we've got Jack's Journey, the Freedom Project, and Every Life Matters, and they have to be local. I mean, not local like on the doorstep, but we always. It wouldn't be a charity that was based, somewhere that's not in Cumbria. So, but just so we can give something back to the communities that host us, really. And I just think it's important that we do that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So over the years, then, how much do you think you've raised so far for charity?
I reckon we'll be close to about 15,000 this year.
Wow, that's amazing.
This has been this year. I mean, the festival have been amazing and they really support us. So Kendal Calling ordered and paid for the wristbands for us this year, so that it just meant we weren't forking out for that.
Brilliant.
And every penny could go back into the pot. So I promised last year that I would be braver and order more. So I ordered 2,000 this year, and it was a bit, oh my God, I hate having any left.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen on the page, we've been doing Beat the Box.
Yeah.
So actually, it's amazing how many orders can be raised from a half empty cardboard box.
And it must be so much admin, because I know that obviously we bought wristbands and then I forgot to send you I just sent you the amount for the wristband. So the amount of people and the amount of time you must spend.
I get my PayPal address wrong, or don't use friends and family, and then obviously I get charged. But I think the first bit, when I'm taking all those orders, I probably have 200, 300 envelopes to write. Maybe one day I'll get a label printer, but I'm not there yet. So I spend ages doing that. They're all ready to go, and then as soon as the wristbands arrive, they all get filled and posted. My postie office, the guy was just like, oh my God, I buy so many stamps. I probably keep him in wine.
And do you know what? How nice is it? The fact that it's dry tonight and today.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference that you were talking about.
We have got rain forecast though, I think, today.
Well, it wouldn't be the Lake District without a bit of rain, would it?
No, it wouldn't. But no, it's fun. Always nice to have a bit of sun.
Well, Emma, it's been lovely meeting you.
And you.
fantastic work that you're doing with the wristbands. Long may it continue.
Yeah, I get a bit worried, like, how big is this going to get? You know, am I actually going to be able to... My PayPal just, like, fills up, and I'm constantly, like, on my bank, transferring money out of my bank.
Oh, you'll get the tax man knocking on your door. Are you really doing it?
Where does this money come from? Yeah.
But no, fantastic. Really nice to meet you.
And you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gin, later.
So what do you think, lads?
Well, it's great that she does all that for charity. I mean, that's amazing stuff,
It
isn't
is.
it? Do you not
All
think?
for her own back as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
All for her own back.
That is good.
Yeah.
And
Well done, Emma.
Yeah. Well done, Emma.
Yeah, well done.
And it obviously helps the festival as well because it's marketing for the festival
I
as well,
suppose,
isn't
I
it?
suppose it is
Promotion.
actually, and it gives them a way to reach people that are actively involved on social media. That they can target them with any information or whatever that they need to get across.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I've got something funny I want to share with you. You talked about you put a ding in your caravan.
Yes.
Well,
Two actually, but I ain't talked about other one. But
it's all coming out.
Carry on.
I want to know about that, though.
Right, so it was our anniversary at the weekend, so we went to York.
Happy anniversary.
Yes,
Happy
happy
anniversary.
anniversary,
Thank you.
Mark. Nellen.
Anyway, in a bit of a rush, I forgot some of my basic understandings of towing and setting up for towing.
Oh no.
I know. So we'd been to lockup, we got the van, hitched it up,
Yeah.
and we were just about to set off.
I almost want to guess what I think you've done wrong.
I went to set off, and the car went forward, and the caravan came off.
Oh, my goodness.
All the way over this almighty bang.
So now I'm trying to think what you'd done wrong.
So
You'd either left handbrake on,
no,
because it wouldn't have come off.
yeah,
Or you just hadn't checked that you.
that's right. So what I normally do when I lower onto the tow bill, well, I don't wheel it up. I grab hold of it,
Right.
and if it lifts the car, it's on. And obviously there's a button. You can see if the button's raised.
Yeah, red or green.
Yeah. Anyway,
Me and
so-
Kirk are going, what are you talking about?
Anyway, so I'd use the motor mover and I'd put it back at car. I'm lowering it back down, lowering it onto tow ball, and I thought the button had popped up. So why don't drag your wheel up? As you do.
For the benefit of the tape, Mark is doing actions to all this.
Yeah, so
you guys can't see
you
it.
wind the wheel up and then you undo the locking handle on the side,
Yeah,
lift the
lift it
tube,
up, lock
and
it
then
off.
and lock it off.
Give it a good whack.
And for some reason, I assumed it dropped onto the tow ball, and I hadn't. I must have been sat probably an inch further over the ball than what I normally was. And the only time I've never not done it, if I'd have gone to lift it, I'd have lifted it off the back of the car, and I'd have felt that it weren't on, and then I'd have gone, God, that were lucky. But it wasn't, because I didn't.
Did you snap your breakaway cable or?
No, luckily I'd not got that far.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
so what
goodness
damage?
for that.
What
Yeah.
damage happened then?
Fortunately, nothing.
Oh,
So the only downside you've got is you've then got to get the front of your caravan off the floor, which
so am I right in thinking your caravan would have tipped down
that's
a little
exactly
bit? Is
what
that
it is,
right?
yeah. And so you're
You've
talking,
gotta-
you're
Yeah.
talking on
Okay.
average around 80 to 90 kilos.
Yeah, unless
So-
you've got a twin axle, but
How'd you lift that up then? What'd you do?
Well, I had to
A
wind
jack?
up. I had to wind up the jockey wheel in the position that it was in to give me some clearance.
Yeah.
Get Helen to roll the car back and literally put everything into it and just lift it at the right
Onto it,
time to drop
right.
it back onto the tow ball.
You could have done with one of them hammer throwers. So
I
lift
could
it
have done
down.
one of those hammer throwers, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we were plain sailing from there. Went to York, stopped in a lovely little site, and
York.
yeah,
I feel like me and Gemma have stopped in York. But I can't remember where. Whereabouts did you stay?
we stopped on a site called Bleak House Farm.
Oh, nice.
Lovely. It's a camping and caravanning club site, so you've got to be a member.
Yeah.
But it's little, nothing on it. It's just a perfectly located little walk into Fulford, a few bars, and then pubs, should I say, and then jumped on bus and to York.
Oh, did you do anything else while you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
went to a strip club. Did you? Perhaps is that what you did?
We went to York Dungeons.
Same thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, have you been
Okay.
before?
No, and as you know, I don't watch scary things.
No.
I'm very jumpy.
Yeah.
I'm very squeamish.
If someone said to me, who would be the funniest person to send to York Dungeons, it'd be you.
Yeah.
Right.
So why the hell did you do it?
because we wanted to do something that would be entertaining.
Okay.
And also, I realised that I had still got my wireless microphones in the car. I've got a little treat for you. And for anybody that's not been to York Dungeons, I've edited out all a lot of the stuff because I don't want to ruin it. No, I've left that in. I don't want to ruin the surprise of the things that go off.
Yes.
What you are going to hear now is some snippets of my reactions to many of the things that go off in the Dungeons.
Brilliant. As they say, roll the tape.
What is it? Oh, here we go. Oh, damn, look. Ellen, can I see your middle of people? I thought that Dutch courage were going to help, and it's not. Hold me hand, El. Why can't we sit at the back? Oh, get knotted. Oh, what? She's in front of me, isn't she? Oh, thank you. Hello. She's looking at me still, isn't she? Oh, this is dreadful.
What's your name?
Oh, you don't want to know. You do, don't you? It's Mark. Oh, no. Oh. Is there something behind it? Oh, no. No. No! Oh, no! There's something in front of me, isn't there? There's something in front of me, isn't there? I don't want to look at it. Oh, what is it? What is it? There's something there, isn't there? Oh, no. No. I would have been crap, wouldn't I, back then? Could you imagine? Oh. Oh. Jesus Christ. Oh. Can I come out yet? And all the other bits have come out as well.
With the rest of this, Mark.
Thanks. Oh, there's something behind us, isn't there?
Mate, that is absolutely brilliant.
I were brave, wasn't I?
Oh, mate, that is so
probably everything but brave.
You could hear the breathing at how panicky you were.
I were panicking.
Yeah.
I were panicking. And the rest of the group that we went round with, they were just laughing. And there were a young lad there with his parents, and they were just laughing.
Even your laughs when you're laughing, you can tell the nervous laughs.
yeah.
You're not laughing because you think it's hilarious. You're laughing because you're nervous.
Obviously, we've trimmed it down to just my reactions because obviously we don't want to ruin it for anybody else. Because if you've not been to York Dungeons, what I will say is, listening to me, you'd think it's probably the most terrifying thing you could ever possibly do. By my standards, it probably is. However, there were children in there, and they weren't as scared as I was. So, if you do like sort of scary but fun, scary and interactive, because the actors in there are incredible. You have to experience it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Time at the bar, please.
So we've definitely had a bit of an eventful couple of weeks.
Well,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I've got one question for you, Rob. So France loved it.
Yeah.
Nice 16-day break.
Yeah.
Hot weather.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely and relaxing.
Yes.
What did you think of my book?
I think it's time for the Wheel of Features.
Yeah, I thought so.
Here we go. Oh, it's spinning.
What's it gonna be? Oh, I'm just so excited. Come on. He's nearly there.
The Wheel of Features.
So first off, we need to answer last week's, which was Kazoo's song. Is it anyway?
Oh, yeah.
And it went like this.
That's the underbelly, and then he goes.
All I can hear is almost half of I'm just a teenage dirtbag, but I'm just a teenage. And I'm like, that's not, I'm just a teenage. He missed off the dirtbag, baby. I'm like, what can he, I cannot work out what
I have no idea. Absolutely no idea.
I have no idea. It's just, it's like Morse code.
Honestly, I've been listening to this for ages to try and get this, and I just cannot get it.
You said that you needed to, like, kind of...
I tried to make it more difficult deliberately because I was playing...
Yeah, but then you did an extended version and it made it no easier at all.
I know, because it's supposed to be more difficult. Because they were too easy before. Right, so I'm going to put you all out your miseries.
Please.
Yeah. It was Brass in Pocket by the Pretenders.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Well, I know the song. I'm not even going to go, of course I'm going. No.
What's it go like?
Right. Tell you something, whoever got that's better person than me.
Yeah. Well
I'll
done.
make it a bit easier next time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Are
please
we
do.
ready to spin the wheel?
Absolutely.
Yes, come on,
Here we
let's do
go.
What's it
come
gonna
on.
be? What's it gonna be? Oh,
What's it? Here we go.
It's yours, Mark.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's me. I'm in. Oh, friend. This day in history. Is that mine, isn't it? Right.
It is.
Let's go. I've got.
Hold on, you've got a jingle, haven't you?
Oh, I have. Yeah.
All right, let's play it jingle
Let's go
first.
for it.
We bring to you today's broadcast.
I have a dream. They think it's all over. It is.
It's one small step for man. You must stay at home. Today in history.
So, this day in history, boys. Right, I've got some loads of information for you. What day is it? 23rd of August.
23rd of August?
Yeah. So, this day in
I
history.
love 23rd of August.
So, you'll have to bear with me because I ain't got my glasses. And I can't read my own writing. So, we'll work backwards. We'll go right back in time. So, we're talking. Hang on, I can't see that. 1617, right? Ooh. First one-way streets were introduced in UK.
One-way street in 1617?
Yep.
Wow.
I know.
How busy were roads?
I mean, they're only at horse and carriage,
And you
weren't
know
they?
what? I can tell you what road it was.
Oh.
It's a famous lane.
One-way lane.
Yeah, Pudding Lane. Where the fire was. I don't know. I don't think it's related. I don't think they went, right, we need to make this one way because there's been a fire
engine.
But that's what it was.
But you said Pudding Lane. I honestly
Pudding Lane.
nearly asked, is that a street off Paddington Bear or something?
No. That's where,
The
we're a
Great
bakery,
Fire,
wasn't it?
the Great Fire of London.
Yes.
Yes, he's as if he knows. Right, so let's jump to 1839. That's what it says here. The first. Hang on.
First prescription glasses
Bring
were
your
lost.
glasses next time, just in case.
I'm sorry, I'm rushed. So 1839, the British captured Hong Kong from China.
Oh.
Right.
I bet that went down well.
Wow. Yeah. Well, things have worked out all right, haven't they?
Depends who you ask me. Depends who you ask. China aren't very happy about it.
Yeah, but I'm not asking. I'm not asking China. I'm just asking you guys. You all right, Wit, are you?
Yes,
I'm
absolutely
all right.
fine.
Could you imagine Mark being foreign secretary?
There's no Chinaman in here. We're all right. So let's jump to 1933. The first televised boxing match were broadcast in London.
Who was it?
Now you're asking me, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know the answer?
Yes, I do.
Good.
It was Archie. It was Archie Sexton and Laurie Raviteri.
What? Laurie what?
Kirk, repeat on when you edit it. It was Archie Sexton and Larry Raviteri. I'm not.
Best thing about it.
It were two boxers.
You wrote this.
I ain't got my glasses.
Why didn't you write it bigger? Look how small writing is on paper.
Do you know why? Because how expensive is paper and ink?
I wrote it.
Mark's trying to say paper and ink.
I wrote it when I got my glasses on.
All right.
My throat's hurting from laughing.
But I'll write it
I
bigger
can't
next
believe you
time.
wrote it on the back of a postage stamp.
Listen, anyway,
Stamps are too expensive,
we
mate.
jump
Yeah.
into 1974 now.
Oh.
And John Lennon spots his first UFO in New York City. Now he says first. As if he.
How many did he spot?
That's what I mean.
Depends what he were
Well, that's
taking
what
at the
I
time, I
thought.
suppose.
I mean, it just said first. I mean, he must have spotted loads more after. But anyway, 1987, right? These are all true, you know.
we
I'm
were
not making
alive
these
now.
up.
I'm going to go and ask John.
1987, a 13-year-old boy hijacks flight KLM B737 and demands £1 billion.
How old, sorry?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he get away with it?
I don't say you. I presume not.
He stopped reading and he got to that bit.
I mean,
I presume
bit
not.
daft, really, to be asking for $1 billion.
No, that's what. I mean, $500,000. He might have got it. I mean, but,
I very much doubt he would have got any, but
I mean, it's 1987. I mean, it's a lot of money there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, £100 he might have got. But so in 1990,
Oh, 90s.
yeah,
year I can remember.
1990s, East and West Germany announced that they're going to unite.
Oh.
oh.
So, had the wall gone down at this point? Or
Yeah.
I did. So it must have gone down, and obviously they've agreed to go.
They were on both sides, stood looking at each other. Going, where's this bloody wall gone?
Yeah. What's happening?
What do we do now?
Hello, friend.
I'm just nodding like I know what wall came down.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Rob was like, what wall?
You didn't know there were a wall, didn't you?
I know. Yeah.
You didn't know there were a wall.
I knew there were a wall. I couldn't have
the
told you when
casting
it
show.
came down, mate. I couldn't have told you if it went 70s, 60s.
I mean, maybe then on that note, I'm just putting it out there. Obviously, they've announced that they're going to. Sorry, walls come down by 1990, so they must have agreed to take the wall down, but then not decided what to do. So maybe they thought, well, we'll take the wall down. You still east, we're still west, and then they must have gone. I tell you what, why didn't we unite?
Now they're into wall.
Why they're into wall? Why don't we unite? So,
I remember. I think there were people taking sections of the wall as like souvenirs and selling them.
Yeah,
I'm sure it were. I'm sure that
on
were a
eBay.
thing. On eBay, yeah.
on eBay,
you can buy it on Temu now.
There is a bit of the Berlin Wall at Universal Studios in Florida.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, another interesting fact.
Yeah, somewhere you can.
Have you got any more?
Yeah, I have. I've got a couple more. So 2007, the hashtag was invented.
Oh,
Invented.
Yeah, well,
hashtag
was used,
invented.
well, was for use for the first time, shall we say?
First time ever.
Yeah, in 2007.
What was it used, Bob? Because it's always been on your phones and that, isn't it? What were it used
number.
for?
It means number.
Yeah, but what were it used for?
Number.
Yeah, but what were it used for?
So, like, if you were to type 26, you'd put a hashtag in front of it to
It's
say number 26.
Yeah.
But on your phone, it was always there. When would you press it?
If you wanted to,
write
number 26.
Well, you can only write numbers. On an old telephone, you had 1 to 9, 0, star at the left, bottom left, and then.
Some people like to, and now you use emojis instead of words. So then it was, instead of writing the word number, you just put hashtag and then the number, so you knew what it meant, number such and such.
So do you mean it was used for the first time in like social media terms?
First time used in a tweet.
In a tweet, right.
Yeah.
For tagging, that's all.
And shall I tell you what it...
Hashtag.
It was, I know you're going to ask me after I've said it, the hashtag was hashtag bar camp.
What's that then?
I've no idea.
Wow.
I'll go away and let you know next week.
Please do.
I don't know why bar camp.
That sounds like my kind of camp.
Any more?
Yes.
Oh.
So
this is already an extended edition.
well, sorry, I've got to go back to 1966. So I forgot.
No, we don't want to know then.
The first picture of Earth was taken from the moon.
Oh.
In 1966.
From the moon.
From the moon. Now, when I read that, I thought, hang on a minute. We didn't go to the moon in 1966, but it wasn't taken by a man. It was taken by, obviously, a satellite. But it was 1966.
And also, it was definitely round, weren't it, the Earth, on the picture? Weren't flat.
It wasn't flat.
I don't know. I need to go back to photographer. I presume it was round in the photo, yeah.
Is there any more?
Well, a couple of things I need to tell you about today. You look bored. Are you?
No, I'm not bored.
Listen, so a couple of things for today, 26th of August. It's National Sponge Cake.
23rd of August.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 23rd. What did I say
26? You just said 26.
Oh, I meant 23rd.
Yeah. We've been here that long. It's now the 27th.
It's National Sponge Cake Day today.
Hey!
It's also.
Well, if I'd have known you were coming.
Yeah, you should have done so. It's also National Ride the Wind Day.
What?
Ride the Wind Day.
Oh.
Now, I did what you guys are doing, going, what's that? So I looked it up and I did more research. And it was the first. The reason why we celebrate today as Ride the Wind Day is it was the first human-powered flight in 1977. So that's why it's celebrated every year afterwards.
Human-powered flight?
Yeah. And so in 1977, that was the first time that we could fly without, obviously, an engine. I don't know what it were, but some sort of contraption.
Did they used to pedal or something?
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I want to let one off and see if any of you want to ride it.
Very nice, Rob. Is that everything, Mark?
I think so. I'm just reading. I'm just trying to. You talk amongst yourself. I'm just seeing if I can understand.
Just like that. Pint of milk, OXO.
It would have been.
Third of a loaf of bread.
It would have been Kobe Bryant's and River Phoenix's birthdays today, but of course neither of them are with us anymore.
No.
So ending on a sad note there,
It's
guys.
a nice one to end on.
Sad note. Thanks.
Well,
on that note.
Well, I could say if it's your birthday today, you would have been conceived on November the 30th. If it's your birthday today, so there you go. How about that? So that's this day in history, guys.
Well
Thanks.
done, Mark.
And on that note,
absolutely, guys.
it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, boys.
See you next week.
See ya. Bye.
See ya.
Do you have a dilemma? Maybe a burning question you're longing to be answered? Or you just want to get in touch with us? Why not drop us a voice note or a message over email at innthechat@gmail.com. That's 2 N's, not 1 N, because 1 N, it doesn't matter. innthechat@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.